that's what it looks like to me too. Now, would you be opposed for me to get the process started? Most of the time, no, they're not opposed to it, and they're not necessarily saying, yeah, let's do this right now, but they're giving me the option to say, yeah, sure, like, I'm the authoritative person in there. Once they say, oh, I'm not opposed to it, great. Let's just let's submit your application and see if we can get you guys pre-qualified, and then we have to set up a time to get you going. Whoever uses site survey to like leverage on the close. Okay, how do you do that?
Training is over. Time to see what you have learned.
I saw those things today. I saw those the idea that yes, well, right now we're really busy. It's just about 5 students on the site survey that the house is contract.
You got 5 seconds. Good luck down there.
Stay alive till time expires to secure redeployment. Earn points to speed up the clock. Hostiles dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
If it's working, absolutely. I was gonna ask that too.
My cancellation.
He has a good counselor too.
Oh no, I'm just not talking in the cancellation. It's works. I haven't had one of the two I have is because
That was early on, like last year, right?
what's that?
Your cousin, wasn't that like last year?
I know it was awesome.
Oh, okay. No worries. So, who else uses like the site survey like as leverage to take relief pressure?
Actually, as well. Speak this, I can each is my inspiration because of that.
Because of that, they might be showing.
I just didn't sell enough for that value. I didn't find their exact gain point. They're still shopping me. Something happened that I either created the environment that I didn't close it enough. First, I stopped doing that. The site survey, I still got like 3 clock. I got to pay back because of that.
Okay. How were you saying it?
Well, almost the very same damn way.
Okay.
So.
Okay. No worries. Anybody else? You site survey?
Yeah, I use.
Enemy UAV overhead.
I mean, I basically the same thing. I use it in the pre-frame.
Enemy dropping
I
into
try to
the
pick up
AO.
the site survey as early and as often as possible, right? Because it's a pullback, but it's also like this is part of the process.
Enemy UAV active.
They're like, sometimes we'll get towards the end and they'll be like, well, so we should probably get the site survey. Like, yeah, absolutely. We need to make sure that the home itself is actually qualified. But what we got to do is get
Hostile counter UAV overhead.
And then at that point, if I'm talking about the point between documentation and the site survey, I'll say,
Hostile UAV in the area.
Nothing is actually official. We actually don't know exactly what it's going to look like until that site survey. So this gives me time to, give consideration. And if something crazy comes up, really like think differently on it. I doubt it'll happen, but it will happen.
Gotcha. Okay. It seems.
So that's like puppy dog clothes, right?
That's what it seems like.
That's like super soft.
Yeah.
I've done it before too, and I've had cancellations. I've had success with it. But and what I've done recently was just using the site survey just to make sure that they're actually making sense without giving them an option of backing out. So it's like, hey, we need to make sure
Enemies
this
deploy
makes
the
sense.
counter
It doesn't make
UAV.
sense, and we're not gonna be able to do this. So let's get this process started to see if we can put this on. Okay.
So I was thinking about backing out of this really like
Tenderfooted about it.
super like wishy-washy to like I want to think about it and I'm basically like using that to overcome that. I'm not even necessarily saying that that's what you do it.
Taking a little deeper to find out where the actual key point is. So.
Oh, you should have done that already.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's what I'm saying, but if I'm just that same stuff. So it's just me. See, I've never lost a deal on that close. It's not one that I use in most deals though, because I don't want to be like hanging up my deals on like, hey, well, you can cancel if you want to.
Yeah.
But like, if it's
Enemy
certain
UAV overhead.
no, I know exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm just like,
Here's not a hurry. I'm gonna call one up for you. It's got to be very back. There's a cancellation. Just saying.
Brandon, I think you had your hand raised.
Yeah,
Yeah, so like to Bernard's point, bro, I just basically get into my, I show them the next steps of the process before they even say yes, which is putting even on words that not, it's gonna happen next. They're gonna have to next before they even say yeah, right? They're like, alright, like, okay, I don't even think I'm gonna like give these yes, but I'm not sure what's gonna happen next. So now we're already getting in the mind. Site survey, gotta find out who's solar on the roof, we don't want solar, they live with them, right? It's kind of funny, you know. They're already like putting. That's fire, Toby.
How do we take the opportunity right here before we transition to what I was talking earlier?
We're detecting vulnerability in the enemy's network. Locate their
I
uplink
do that every
stations and
time.
secure their
I
intel
mean,
before
you
they
guys
go
talking about
offline.
the dealerships, installers all the time. I think that's just like should be done, you know, because people need to know that there's dealerships, and it's like, what's a dealership's job? Just to sell, right? That's the only job, is to sell you a deal, not have responsibility. But to that point, I'm gonna get right into that. Usually, what I use is I always stress that like the reason for the site survey. What I was going into, it's gonna help me lead into it. What I was going into is because I used to do the whole like, hey, the puppy dog, you'll have this time, this X amount of time until site survey to talk about it, right? I would cancel this, I really would. So the way I got over that is kind of like how Brandon was talking about is once I know that they're like, okay, yeah, they already kind of said, yeah, I'd rather do this one, right? Without saying yes, it's this. All right, great. Well, it's not like we can put up solar on your house today. There are some next steps, and those of you that go through your slideshow, the back page, there's the next steps. Whoever uses those next steps, anybody? No. I've had.
I do.
Good. I have really good luck doing that. Notice Brandon, Bernard, they threw their hands up. So what's the first step? Can anybody recite that for me? Review agreement. Review agreement. All right. What's second step?
Site survey.
Site survey. All right. What is the third step?
Design confirmation.
9.
Enemy counter UAV is active.
An
Okay.
enemy squad
Fourth?
located an uplink station.
Permit.
Don't let them secure that intel.
5.
Install.
Closing round.
And then final step.
PTO.
All right. Now, hear me out. All right. I've been doing it a little bit different just because I try to adapt to the different market out there, and I've been just trying to touch on what's working, what's not touching. We've seen success in this. Obviously, Brandon and Eric, they utilize the next steps and stuff. So what we do is they have a different approach. They don't really use the whole money equal. They use another one that I'm gonna have Brandon or Eric teach on next week. But I use mine, so I'm summarizing it, right? What I do is, all right, Mr. Homer, what are some of the things? It's a lot of information we went over today. What were some of the things that really stood out for me, right? What they liked about us. I write it all down until I exhaust that. Then I just ask them about P&M. Usually, it's not gonna be prepared.
Do you ever have them say like, I don't like P&M?
All the time.
Yeah,
Dude, a lot of the times you're gonna see them bash on P&M.
Yeah.
They're gonna just start telling you all the reasons why they hate them. That's what you want. You want to build on that thing. Asking more probing questions. Well, why? Why do you feel that way, right? And then keeping it in simple terms. Great. Well, looking at both of these side by side, because I'm a visual learner. I don't know about you. Looking at both of these side by sides, if these were both the exact same price every month, which one would you rather put your money towards? Right? Well, obviously this one. That's what they're going to say. Great. But would you be opposed to moving forward to the next steps? Let me just show you what those look like. Again, I'm visual, right? Then I swipe all the way to that next page, show the next steps.
Enemy
Right, so
resecured the
today
network.
what we're doing is
It's
we're
over.
doing an agreement. I don't know about you, like this kind of just looks from the outside in. I do this a lot. It makes sense. You tell me, does this kind of
No hits.
does
Go
this make
again.
sense for you?
Fire sale active. Buy station
Next step,
prices
Manny.
have been reduced.
I go to the next steps after I do this.
So you do that before you show numbers?
Before I show numbers, I still haven't even showed numbers yet. Keep in mind, I haven't even showed them the numbers yet. I think I'm more critical. This is critical point, right? Then I go into, all right, so what we're doing today is we're reviewing agreement. So far, does this make sense? I'm trying to close them before they even know the number. I'm closing them on our deal. Yes, sir. Just getting a bunch of little guesses. Getting them to commit without even realizing it.
I think this works a lot for them, that lingering question like can or somewhere else.
Mhm.
That's something that I think I ran into overly informational, where they're like, this is fine. Wait, but the way I presented the numbers, gave them way too much leeway to
Watch your
assess the
six.
numbers.
Resurgence
So,
window is
distance wise now. Let me go see.
Yep. I want them to be close on us. That's why I asked
25
about what
are
we went
still
over,
active
right?
in the AO.
That's it.
Absolutely.
And then, what I'm doing is I'm getting the bot in completely, got paid everything. And the reason why is this,
You got
because
gas
there's a lot of
moving in.
information. I want to narrow it down to main things, the pain and the benefits. That's it. I want to narrow it down at the final. So I'm going in, I'm going thoroughly in. I'm going to explain each one of these steps. All right, great. So we can review an agreement. We could submit it, make sure you guys get approved today. But there's still a really critical step, which is the next one, which is site survey. That's where we have to have somebody come out here. Again, since we're an installer,
Fire
we're not
sale's
an
over.
OSHA, we want to make sure
Adjusting
that we're
prices.
putting our project, your project, on a home that's going to last, and it's not going to have liability. So we want to make sure your home can last, take this on for a long term, right? And that's just building more into our value. We want to make sure that it's not going to be messed up in a few years, 10 years, whatever, right? We don't want a liability with this. We want to make sure that you're a great candidate. I should stress that.
I hate that
Then I
one.
go into, as long as that survey is good, from the looks of it looks good. We checked your main panel. We already added a main panel. I don't know about you guys, but in Las Cruces, El Paso, we've been having add main panels to every day. Just we add them right away. We let them know, hey, that's part of the system. You're going to get an MP, even if you don't in the system. But anyways, we'll go into the final design. So remember earlier I showed you your design. That was just a preliminary design. That just shows you an idea where it's going to be placed. Our engineering team is going to send you the final design. And if you like to look at all the specs,
Resurgence has been deactivated.
Show you
This is the
everything down
ending.
to the T about your project. All right, next step is going to be permitting. Remember I told you about our customer experience team? Well, they're going to handle all the heavy labor for you in the background. All you got to do is kind of kick back.
Enemy
let
UAV
us do our
active.
thing. And then I pull
Enemies
up,
deployed
I don't
a
know about you guys,
counter
but
UAV.
what I do is I pull up the design portal, or the customer portal. Have you guys ever seen a customer portal after they become a customer? Yeah? And have you seen the progress report that it has? And it shows every step. So I'll pull that up, and I'll have one, pulled up, like one of my grandmas or one of my aunts.
Gas is inbound.
Within 60 to 90 days, give or take how busy we are. We're not on back order, and then I kind of move forward. They'll let you know what time's available, and they'll find a time available for you. But the final and one of the most critical stages is that's where the city inspector has to, give us permission to operate. They still have to come out here and kind of turn it on. So let's just make sure that all these steps make sense for you, and then I'll ask, does that make sense? And then I'll just roll into the numbers. Usually when I go into the numbers, it's not going to be as hard as if you did all this. And then I just show up the numbers right away. I'll always go with the biggest number. I got this from Carlos, actually. He's like, I never show him that little 15-month payment or whatever because it's going to go up to this, right? I'll show him the big number, the hard one, right away, monthly.
All soldiers use your recon. Being tracked by an enemy squad. Evade and
Your
survive.
payment's going to be this high, but you're going to get this much more. And then I try to close them on the big number before I even tell them they're going to have 15 months, and before I even talk about reamortizations, because I want to try to close them at the highest before I even go down to the lowest, right? So what I do is when I'm showing them numbers, I'll just kind of show it to them and like, look, this is it. And I always use words like your payment's only going to be, even if I'm upselling them $200 or upselling them $100 more than what they're averaging paying, your payment is only going to be this much compared to what you used to pay. Is that something you guys could afford? And I'll just put it on the spot, And right then and there, it's either yes or no. And if it makes sense, well, everything I went forward with or talked about today, does that make sense to you? I'll just roll right into the pre-qual. And I'll just say, all right, well, I'm going to get this submitted. Are you opposed to that? And I'll use one of the no-based questions again. Does that kind of make sense to you guys? Now, I kind of just roll it in. I've never done a training per se on my closing, but I'm just kind of doing everything that I do. So we
Building pain is with
You're losing ground.
Sure. I would all the time. I do the big like early on.
Only 5 remain. You were close to victory.
Sure can.
Contract failed. Objectives out of range.
Rolling through.
I think maybe you should do is not put emphasis on the installer.